We've been using these dome water feeders we got from Premier One for quite a few years now, and after a while they quit working. So to get the valve, this part here, you can get a new valve that's like 25 bucks. This whole assembly right here, you can't buy any other parts individually. You have to buy this whole valve. So I found some springs that work. Show you how to fix them, so maybe it'll save somebody some money. Okay, here's the actual valve, and this is how it works. You know, when it hangs from this, and this screws into the body of the feeder. I'm sorry, the water. But right here, this is the actual valve. It just unscrews. Alright, and this piece, this screen, this filter screen, you can just pop it off. Alright, and then you're left with this. Just depress this, and this little rubber dome pops off the end of that shaft. This shaft has got these little indentions here, and this little socket in this, you just push it on once, push it all the way down to seat it. And this is what seals it. All right, this spring holds this shaft down, and this little rubber dome seals on this edge right here. And when this gets pushed up, water enters right here. Water enters through this screen, goes around this dome because it's loose in here, around this dome and through this shaft right here. This shaft has got little wings, 4 wings all the way around it to leave a gap so water can go down through here and out this. Alright, so let's pull this dome back off. Alright, so this comes off, and then you've got the spring and then the spring seat, this little grommet right here. So that's how it works. But now after a while, the springs get weak. Here's one I've tore apart. This spring's, I don't know if you can see how rusty it is, and the top was broke off, and the bottom's broke off too. So when that happens, the spring is so weak it can't pull hard enough for this dome to seal on this surface right here. But you can go to Northern Tool and buy this spring kit for $5.99. And this kit has got, let's see, the springs we use are the 23 64ths by 1 3/8, and there's 8 of them. And then the 3/8, where's the 3/8 at? Right here, 3/8 by 3/4, there's 12 of them. So you get 20 springs that'll work in these for roughly $6. And the repair kits, the repair valves that you can buy online are $25. So you can spend $500 and fix 20 of these feeders, or you can spend 30 cents a piece to fix 20 of these feeders. So I'll show you how to fix one. Okay, here's one that actually doesn't work, needs to be repaired. So we'll unscrew this. Pop the filter screen off. Pop the rubber dome off. Oh, dang, it's stuck on there good. Alright, see the rust and corrosion in there from this spring? There's a little spring seat. Make sure it doesn't have any pieces of broke spring in it. It doesn't. Alright. Alright, this is the spring that comes in the kit, this is a good factory spring. You see how much taller it is? It still works. It just puts a little more pretension on it and does not affect as far as the the water coming in and out of the feeder, because you can still set it. All right, the smaller, the 3/4, this is 3/8 diameter, 3/4 long. You can see it's a little bit shorter. Just grab it, stretch it. There you go. It's all right, I got it. See, it's a little bit crooked. It doesn't matter. That spring seat and the collar inside this keeps the spring straight when you put it in. But you can use both of those. This long one and the 3/4 inch one. We'll put this back together. You just take the stem, put the spring on it, put it back in the seat, and push the dome on. And this dome, make sure you push it over both of these knobs. You'll feel it 1 time, 2 times. And honestly, I like that extra spring pressure because it actually seals this a lot better. Over time, you'll notice these waters, they kind of seep a little bit, and that's just where that little spring gets weak, the factory spring that comes in it. But that's got it. And then make sure your seal's good right here, you know, so water doesn't leak out of the main body of the valve. Oh, my bad. Watching the screen, not watching what I'm doing. This filter housing, it just snaps on. Just push it on. There you go. All right, and then whenever you put this back in the water, when you screw this in, you have to keep screwing this down into the water for this to make contact with the bottom of the water. As soon as it makes contact, then water will start coming out of this. And as the water weighs more, you know, if this is hanging like this, the weight of the water squishes this spring. Well, when this spring squishes, this big spring, when this spring squishes down, that means the body of the water moves down and off of this. And when this comes off, it seats that rubber valve in there and the water quits coming out. So when you first screw this in the feeder, you're going to have to screw it way down in here, way down in the water, for this to make contact with the bottom. And as soon as you make contact, water comes out. All right, once the water comes out, it weighs more, this pulls down, the water stops. So then you got to continue to screw it down until you get enough, the correct weight of water. The whole time you're putting pretension on this spring right here. Because the more pretension there is on this spring, the more weight of water in the actual body of the water is going to be required to make it go down anymore to move the bottom of the water off of this valve to stop the water. But there you go. All right, there, I'll fix it for 30 cents.